Hello, everyone.
This
Hello,
is
cyber world.
How's it going?
So, hey guys, we're just getting started here on our Sunday Superstar Gang Hangout, and tonight we're going to talk a little bit about financial freedom and what yes, freedom, baby, and what this network marketing world can do for you and bring to you and have you, give you the freedom to do what you want and do the things you want and see the people that you want to and all of that great stuff. So I'm Sean DeCapo, New York City. And I'm here with a great panel of rock stars in their own right. And I'll let the other lady of the house, Ms. D, get us started.
Hi everyone, here's D Lake in Portland, Oregon, and so happy to be here with my team and just going to be talking about a lot of really great and inspiring things today about network marketing, internet marketing. Really excited about this.
Hey, Dee. Good to see you.
Hey everyone.
Hey.
So who's next for introduction, Dee?
I think Mr. Cohen's up.
Well, hello, guys. Well, man, I couldn't wait to jump on and be a part of the panel of this topic. Financial freedom is a topic that I love, and it was actually, probably about maybe 10 or so years ago when I really started to internalize the word financial freedom and what that meant to me. And, coming from the corporate world where it was work hard, play hard, and I made a nice six-figure income, and I spent a nice figure income, and wasn't really planning for the future. And in my strategy of building wealth and producing the lifestyle I want has changed over the last 10 years because of what I've learned in marketing and building passive income. And so it's real exciting for me because I think we all do what we do because we have a why, and in order to have our why, we need that financial freedom in our life. The only way we're going to have the time freedom in our life. So I'm so excited to hear what you guys have to share on the subject.
Well, we're interested in picking your brain. So, hi everybody, Perry Trumbull here. Really happy to be on this panel. As you can see, there's some people with some knowledge here. So they're about ready to drop some on you. So get your pen and pad out and take some notes, and we'll just have us a little chat about financial freedom.
Nice.
That's you, Vince.
Yeah, I think I'm back. I'm going to be Ghost again, it looks like. Yeah, I agree. I'm excited about this. I'll tell you, you can't get a better panel than what we have tonight. I mean, I respect all you guys on here, and I am just honored that I'm even being a part. The cool thing about financial freedom, and if you think about it, and I'm not trying to put jobs down, we all have jobs. Well, hopefully we have jobs. It supports our income. But, we're only in a certain place with the position that we're at. And with online marketing or marketing in general, you can dream. You can dream to achieve anything that you put your mind to. And there's so much success out there that I think we all deserve a little piece of that. And by doing a little bit of action here and there, you can achieve it. And that's kind of pretty much why I'm in it and why I'm here. I'm just happy to be here with you guys.
Well said.
That's
Very
right.
nice.
The bottom line is we have a solution, through the online marketing world to help people produce results and produce an income that they have control of. And not everyone knows the whole online marketing world. A lot of people are researching it, and they're figuring out what's a scam and what's not a scam. And the reality is there are people making money online, and it can be a solution to a lot of people's financial problems. And and I think most people, if you're watching this, it's probably because you realize the thing you're doing in your life right now is not giving you the life of real purpose, where you're real passionate about it, you're waking up every day and loving what you do. And the truth is online marketing, it's just another vehicle, but it's, to making money and creating the lifestyle you want and having that financial freedom. Jobs, unless you just love your job, jobs typically don't provide that vehicle that's going to help you get to that lifestyle you really want. And through online marketing and learning the strategies and the skill behind being a professional marketer are just incredible, because you can use them to get results and be able to write your own paycheck. And it's amazing how somebody like myself can go from never making a dollar online to having a $4,000 month like that, and then all of a sudden just
Yeah,
get
buddy.
it. You go on the 15K formula. We were talking about it earlier. You go on the 15K
Right.
formula and you learn a traffic strategy, and you're like, shit, I can use this with any product or service, and I can figure out how, okay, there's a niche out there of people that have this problem, and here's a solution to their problem. Here's how I can market online to them and make money.
Talking about, we want to
And
make
you don't have to sell, tell, explain anything, and it's a great way to make money, man. I haven't had a job since July of last year.
That's awesome.
Intentionally.
Perry, I can relate to you because the first few months I didn't make anything, and I was collecting unemployment, and I was getting overwhelmed with all this information. Like, I was developing the skill set of all this online marketing stuff, but it was coming from me at all different sides, and I really didn't know what to implement, and it was too much. And then I got introduced to Empower Network, where all of a sudden I realized, okay, I can put my blinders on and just follow this blueprint.
Absolutely.
And put together
Yes.
a high converting sales funnel, and then drive traffic to it, and make sales, help people solve their financial problems, and it's a great business model. I know we weren't supposed to be talking about Empower Network here specifically, but I know it's a tool we all have in common that we all use, among other things,
Right.
to generate income. So, man, I just love it. And let me be real with you guys with something here. So when I graduated college at like 21, and I started making money as a technical recruiter, and then I kind of worked my way up the corporate ladder into staffing, IT, telecom, staffing, sales, and then branch manager, national account manager, and I made good money. And I was putting my money away into my 401k, and then I decided to start my own business. And so I used my retirement money I'd saved up to start my own business, and then the telecom bubble burst. So I didn't want to go back to corporate America because I already had a taste of what it was like to be an entrepreneur. So I was trying to reinvent myself in financial services. And because of I already had a lifestyle that required me to, just to cover my monthly nut, it was $8,000. And that's without all the parties on South Beach and the dinners that we were going out with, because I had just met Teresa at that time. So, I was going through money fast, over 10 grand a month easily. So I went through my savings pretty quickly. Well, then I got back to making money again, but I wasn't. But then, with the market, it's been up, it's been down, and it's been hard to really save a lot of money. So I did a financial plan with my financial advisor buddy, and at 40 years old, to start over, if you are like me, where you've spent your savings, whether it's been bad investments or a business or whatever, and you're 40 years old or so, and you're starting from scratch. If you wanted to retire at the age of 65, work another 25 years, I would need to save about $1,700 every month. $1,700 a month, and earn an average of 8% annual return for the next 25 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
To have enough money to be able to live off 50 grand in today's dollars.
Yeah.
So taking into account inflation, so in 25 years your house is paid off, you live a simple life off 50 grand a year, maybe you retire down to Mexico or Panama City where 50 grand a year can provide the lifestyle of a king, not here in America, but at 50 grand in today's dollars, $1,700 a month at 8% annual return is what you would need to save to have that nest egg in 25 years. Now, that plan versus I'm just going to work my ass off in learning a skill set to build a passive income, whether it be through online marketing or real estate or whatever the other vehicles out there to building passive income, work your ass off and develop $5,000 a month in residual income. And whether it takes you the next 3 months, which we've seen that done in our business, or if it takes you 2 years, it doesn't really matter. It's way better than the 25-year plan of saving $1,700 every single month at an interest rate that who knows if our stock market will return that over the next 25 years or not.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
awesome.
That is so powerful. That is such a powerful message right there, just right there in itself. And think of all the people that don't really have a retirement out of all the years that they have worked, and how this, what you're talking about, can help so many people. Even like how people say all these children are going to school fresh out of high school into college, and they're taking on all this debt, and there's nothing wrong with them going to school if they want that education and they want that career, but they don't have to follow that route to go into that debt. They could also accompany their education to do whatever it is that they want to do with the marketing, so that they could be empowered through that process. There's just so many better ways to educate yourself, to retire, to have a better lifestyle, just to have freedom, from your bills, and have a better way of living.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I've had some successful businesses, but I've always worked with my hands. I mean, I didn't go to any high school, and right out of ninth grade, I got a job as a cook on a commercial fishing boat, and I stayed in the commercial fishing industry for 17 years off and on. And when I wasn't doing that, I was learning the trades from my dad in the building industry. So those are the two businesses I've been in my whole life, and I've been successful in them. I've had, $100,000 years fishing. I've had close to $100,000 years, as a brick mason or a home builder. But the thing of it is like David over there, I was living that lifestyle. I didn't have any financial education whatsoever. I didn't understand about building my asset column as opposed to just bringing my income directly into my expense column and just blowing it all. Now, I saved a little money here and there, and when we had this big housing bubble that just happened, in mid-2000, I did pretty well on some property, and I moved out to the Midwest, and I started, building houses out there, and eventually the economy caught up out there, and everything fell out, and I was left, with properties going back to the bank. The wife was leaving me because there was no more money, and she didn't want to have to go to work, and all, So anyway, bottom line is I spent my savings also, and because I had no financial education. Now at the age of 48, I'm learning all over what financial education and what financial freedom means, and I'm learning from guys like David and from Dee, and from reading books like Robert Kiyosaki, and just tapping into all the resources I can. You can find a wealth of information on YouTube from guys like Tony Robbins and Les Brown, and really, people, you need to educate yourself on what financial freedom is and what financial education is, because they don't teach it in school. And so, do your research, take some notes, and start applying what you learn. And what I like about network marketing, especially the Empower Network, is how they don't just teach you marketing strategies, how to drive traffic. They teach you how to develop your personal skills, personal development on the things that we're talking about here, the laws of attraction and learning financial education. It's just a whole encompassing thing, and direct marketing is a way to collapse time frames, especially for somebody at my age. Learn how to market, learn how to drive traffic, and start learning how to bring in a lot of money in a short period of time. And it's all about staying consistent and learning something daily, and doing your daily goals. Make yourself a vision board and look at the things that you want. That's the law of attraction. Think about them. Think about having them already. Live in that feeling of gratitude and prosperity, because there's an abundance out there that we're all welcome to, and there's enough good in this world to go around for everybody. So.
And Perry, just if I may interject here a little bit, I think the biggest problem right now with society in general is that, we've been sold a really bad bill of goods, because the way the economy took a crap, everybody who does have a job thinks that, oh my God, this is the best I am. This is the best I'll ever be. I just need to be happy that I have this. And I think people have lost their ability to dream. And I think that, I understand it's hard out there, but I also understand that if you just take a chance and you see that there is a lot more to life than just going to an 8 to 5 and dreaming again and seeing it, take a chance and say, yeah, these people can do this, if the people that, the David Woods, the David Sharps, the Lawrence Tams, Chris Records, if people like that can do this, and we can do this, then you can do it too. I mean, I'm 49 years old, and I'm kind of in the tweener age is the way I look at it. I look at that if something did happen to my full-time job, what happens to me? Now, there's been people that I've worked with that are a little bit older than I, and they've been having a hard time. So I sit there and go, okay, well, I don't want to be in that position. If something does happen, I'll accept it, but I'm preparing myself and my family because, right now I'm building financial freedom. We all are. Everybody on this panel right now is building a financial freedom for themselves and their families. And in case something happens, we don't have to worry about the in case again. We are preparing for that, and I think that if everybody would just look back and say that I'm worth more than this, there's more to life. How many times have you been in a business where, you've busted your rear end and you bust your butt, you're in there early, you do this, you do that, and the person next to you that comes in 2 hours late, that sucks up to the boss, that leaves early, gets the promotion? I mean, has any of that happened to anybody? I mean, you kind of get tired of it. I remember, I think when I was a kid, I worked with blinders on because I always believed if you did your best, you bust your ass, then you're going to get recognized. Your job's going to be, you're going to show how well you do in your job by doing that. And I found that's really not the case the older I get. So, I think everybody needs to prepare. Do something, get a home business, whether it's Empower Network or if it's something that you're interested in, get up, do it, take a chance, and live your life, because only you can do that. Only you can make that decision, and it only takes one snap of a second like that to decide to do something for yourself. And I think that we have all done it, and I think anybody who's watching this, this video right now, this chat, needs to seriously think about that.
It's true, and it really just happens, kind of in that. As we know from being in the industry now for a while, it's all about in that snap of that decision, and it doesn't take a long time. It's in that decision when you've had enough of the BS, and there's so much that all of us can go on and on about what we're learning and what we're excited about, but the education itself with the Robert Kiyosaki books and even Donald Trump, whatever your opinion about him is, the man knows how to make money, and he knows about the power of network marketing, and what we've learned together as a group, as a community, is that, some of the most influential things that I've learned are at the seminars and events that we go to, but also on PBS. I mean, just check out the documentary they do on Wall Street. And if that doesn't wake you up that nothing's really going to change unless you change it yourself, I really don't know what will, because there's no way to recover from the greed at Wall Street and with the banks and all that. There's just no way. So if anyone's waiting for someone to come over and hand them a really good job, and I'm not being sarcastic, I'm just saying it's not going to happen. It's time to catch the vibe, understand that there are a group of people that want you to succeed, are in the same boat as you, and everyone that's in network marketing doesn't know everything right off the bat either. We just knew that we wanted to change things. And I have 2 business degrees, and guess what? I still couldn't find a job that was paying me enough to live in New York City, and like the 8 other million people that live here. So it doesn't even matter if you get educated, you still can't find jobs because everything's so saturated to live the life that you want to have. We all deserve to live the high-end life and do what we want to do. We work hard. We deserve it. And, this industry really will change your life. It really will. And you need, the number one thing you need is leverage. And to leverage your time. I think, Perry, you'll probably agree with Robert Kiyosaki, and you guys all have probably read that, is that's the key, is that, you can't do it all yourself. And one of the most important parts about leverage is a team that you can all have different attributes to bring to the table. And so that's kind of why we're even here today. So pretty amazing industry.
And I think what's really important, too, and it was really big for me is when you ask yourself that question, you have the question asked you, Sean, what does financial independence mean to you?
Right. Well, for me, what it will mean is after going to school and trying to constantly improve my life and not being able to be ahead of myself like I should be with all the years given into it. That for me, it will be the fact when I can finally work anywhere in the world, get up and travel, and just go and do whatever I want to do, not worried about any sort of student loan debt, any kind of debt. And you know, I think I saw Robert Mercado say something the other day on one of our sales videos, and when he said, you know, when you get to the point where you can be that person in your family that people can call and you can actually help out, you can actually be the one that says, sure, I can help you, instead of not being able to. You know, it's definitely not all about just you and yourself.
Right.
It's about being able
to be that go-to guy.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's a good feeling being that go-to guy and being able to step up and say, I got you, no worries.
Yeah.
Especially as a woman too, because that's rare. You're like, you know, so me and Dee are gonna crank it up together.
Financial freedom means to me basically the same thing. You know, being able to live the lifestyle that I desire without having to rely on a job or anybody else for money, but also, you know, financial freedom is to me when my passive residual income exceeds my monthly expenses in a large way, so that I can live that lifestyle, but not just live in the lifestyle, being able to reach out. You know, my mom's been living in poverty for years, and I've always been able to help her out a little, but never enough to buy her that house or give her the health care that she needs other than on Social Security and Medicare. You know, that's a big part of my why. My sister, you know, has had a bad run. She's always had good jobs working for very wealthy people like Bruce McCall from Nextel Cellular and the people that started and still own Costco Corporation. And she's, you know, lost her job a few years ago, and it's been hard for her to get back on top. I want to be able to reach out and help her. You know, I've always been into charity, and I've always been in the building industries. Habitat for Humanity is always something that I've wanted to do. And through this business, I know I'm going to be able to reach all those goals. I know because I can feel it within me, and I know that there's other people doing it, and if I just follow that plan, that I can do the same thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, one thing that that I wanted to share was what I hear people talking about a lot is the amount of money that it takes to actually start your own business. And I always thought that was the way to financial freedom. You know, I've never had a 9-to-5 job. I've never worked in the corporate world. I always worked for myself, and I thought, when I was younger, I thought that was financial freedom. But what I didn't realize was that what I was doing was basically leading to a dead end, because it was a short-term opportunity. You know, I was dancing in bars at night, and that's what I did. That was my work. And when I was younger, that was great, and it was lucrative, and I did a lot of wonderful things out of it. I got to buy a charming old antique house in Oregon, and I got to build a little tiny house in Costa Rica, and I got to live my life on my own terms. But I still, at the end of the day, had to trade my time for money, and you know, and that grew, you know, it grew heavy on me over time. And then, you know, I have other talents, and I'm a seamstress and a pattern maker, and I had a dress line for 6 years that I loved and I did well with, and I love the garment industry. In fact, I would love to get back into it. But I just made a decision that wasn't such a great one, and I ended up losing my entire garment industry dress line. And even that in itself, I mean, that's a great way. If you have a product at the end of the day that you can market, that's a wonderful thing to have. But at the same time, you've really got to think about what you're going to do with that product, how you're going to market it, what kind of overhead you're creating for yourself, and what it takes to actually run a business. What we're doing right now is, so like we were talking about earlier, leverage. What we're doing right now is we have so little overhead, and we have so much leverage, and we have so much information to help us just propel us into any lifestyle that we want, whether we want to actually open a brick and mortar business like I've done before in the past with my dress line, or if we want to get into real estate, something I'm dabbling in now in Costa Rica that I'm just getting. I just got started in the real estate in Costa Rica right before the big implosion, you know, and so I had all these great plans, and the market just crashed, and so that pretty much put everything I was doing there on hold. So it's not like something that's unforeseeable. It's just, okay, plan B on that direction. But I think it's really important. The big lesson that I learned was, even if, like David, even if you're in a lucrative industry, you're going to come to the end of the line on it. And it's really good to think about the bigger picture and have a plan. And even it's really good to think about the brick and mortar stuff, like with my dress line, how you're forming that and what you're doing with that, and how we can use what we're doing now to build a really strong platform to catapult us into other things that we want to do and give ourselves that financial freedom that we need to just know that we're good, we're in a good place, and we're headed anywhere we want to head on our terms. And I really like that.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. Financial freedom for me basically means cars, boats, planes. No, I'm just kidding. The material stuff is going to be great, and but when I got out of the Austin event, and I can't wait for the Chicago event that's coming up, is there's deeper things, and you all have touched a lot of deeper emotions that financial freedom means to you, and for me, it just means peace. I mean, it really just means peace. And from when I was 12, my dad passed away. So ever since I was 12 years old, I was in Italian families. I don't know how it is in a lot of families, but in Italian families, you were the man of the house. When your dad passed away, you were the man of the house. You take on that responsibility. So I think through my entire life, and my entire young life and adult life, I've always been the person with the responsibility. So financial freedom is going to give me peace, and I really can't explain it anything more than that. But that's what it got out for me. It's just going to be, I'll finally be able to take a breath and go. So that's what I'm looking forward to, and I'm on my way, as in each and every one of you are too. So.
Nice. So I guess should we kind of wrap it up and just kind of give our last thoughts on financial freedom? You guys good with that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Sounds great.
All right, cool. So I guess I'll start with the kind of a close that I feel like tagging on to what Vince is saying, because it's so true that even though let's just face it, I love all the material things, but that's not the ultimate goal. It won't hurt. For me, my ultimate, when I ultimately become financially free, what I want to do, I can work wherever I want to work, which will happen, and travel the world. One of my goals, and it's not to make anyone warm and fuzzy. It really is what I want to do, and I want to travel the world, and I want to help children that don't have parents, because I'm in my 40s, and I'm not married, and I don't have kids, so that for me is something that I thought, well, maybe my bigger purpose is to be the mother to a whole bunch of children that don't have parents. So ultimately, I want to do that, and it's not just me trying to sound great. That's really something I want to do. So that is something I aspire to get to. I know this industry will help me make that happen. And once you kind of make that decision, you realize all of the education, everything that's going on in the world, it doesn't matter, because you're going to do whatever you have to do to make that happen, and this industry is the vehicle to do that. So also, I want to mention before we close out too, everyone's names, if they're not down here, we got David Cohen on the left, D. Lake, Perry Trumbull, Sean DiCapo, and Vince Mazzi. And here goes my phone. And awesome, this phone never rings. So anyways, I just want to say, contact us, if the names aren't there, contact us on Facebook, get a hold of us, and whoever you resonate with, go for it. David, you want to?
Okay, well, hey, I'll just close out with on the topic of financial independence. Is that obviously, if you're hanging out, watching us, thank you for being a part of our little hangout here. And I think the bottom line is that financial independence, it's different for everybody, and what's important is to know what that is, and to believe you can have that, and that you can create that lifestyle for yourself. And just look at, if what you're doing is helping you get there, by all means, well, you continue doing it. But you're probably, if you're watching this, probably not, and you're probably looking for a better vehicle. And connect with one of the people that invited you to come on. You know, we're a team that are building a business for ourselves and our family, and to live the lifestyle that we desire, and to achieve those goals of financial independence. And you know, to me, you know, it's allowed me to be able to be the dad that volunteers at my daughter's elementary school on a weekly basis, and be able to. They have a program there for the kids that are growing up in single mother families, where you can go in, and I'm mentoring a boy there that's my daughter's age. And you know, I get to do that. I get to chaperone at the kids' schools, and what's really cool is that all the other mothers are like, "What do you do for a living?" They always see me up there at the school every week, and I'm always wearing my Adidas shorts and T-shirt, just hanging out, having fun, and you know, and it's cool. It's a better way to make money, and to you know, even though I haven't created the amount of residual that is my goal and created the nest egg I wanted, I'm financially free because I'm able to make money and you know, and still have the time to do what I want in life. And what I've learned in this, and through my own personal self-discovery, is that I receive the most fulfillment when I'm helping others.
Right.
You know, whether it be helping overcome addictions or alcoholism or their financial problems, or leaving a life that's just, they're not happy, because we all just want to be happy. I mean, that's what it's about. And whether it's our job or our financial situation, whatever it is, that's for our relationship that's just not making us happy, it's, you know, I just love to be a part of helping people go through that transformation so that they can have that lasting fulfillment. And that gives me fulfillment to help other people. And I know I'm going to be blessed, continue to be blessed with this wealth, because it allows me to be a vehicle and a vessel for the light to shine through, and to help others. And that's the best feeling. I mean, you guys have all had people join your team that you've helped make their first $1,000 online, and their belief level changes, and they see that now they can do it also. And you know, isn't that an amazing feeling? Not just commission you make on that, but just the feeling that someone's like, man, thank you for making me believe I can do this. And they make that first $1,000, and they see it just open up this whole new life that they can now achieve through this new way of making money versus the job that they can't stand anymore, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing, David. I'm with you on finding fulfillment and helping others. I think that's a big one for, you know, for a lot of people. And that's a big motivation for me as well, with having my nonprofit organization to help people with wellness. And the reason being, you know, that's the reason why I got into Empower Network, was to learn how to market my nonprofit organization and my for-profit detox wellness website. So that's a big motivating factor for me. I'm definitely with you on that one. In every project that I've ever set out to do, my Costa Rica project is all about, in the long term, preserving land, you know, and where I could eventually buy big chunks of land and just set them up into, you know, a grandfathered clause where half of that land can never be touched. And so it is good to do things for a higher purpose and for a greater good and to help others. And that's really important. And that also, when you know that you're making a positive difference in someone's life, it just fuels you. It just like fills up your sails to just push you forward, and it makes you feel so good about everything that you're doing.
True.
I agree. I
Totally agree.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. All that's good stuff. We want to be happy. We want to be fulfilled, you know. But if you're starting out from nowhere and you don't have any money, you know, get yourself financially educated. You know, start now. You got to know how to manage your money when you have it. And if you don't know how to manage money, you're probably never going to get it. So that's one thing. And the other thing is just don't be afraid to fail. You know, get out there. We learned through failing. I mean, when you first started riding a bike, Robert Kiyosaki talks about it. You probably fell a few times, but you got back up on that bike and used it for inspiration. You heard David talk about, you know, living on his savings and losing everything, and he used that as inspiration. You know, he looked at it, okay, so it was a failure. Don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid to lose, because you're going to learn from that. And, you know, the other thing is just believe in yourself. You can do it, you know. And if you believe in yourself, anything is possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Right on, Perry.
Yeah, very
Vince,
true.
why don't you wrap us up here, buddy?
Yeah, I don't, being last is kind of cool because you all said it all. So I don't have a whole lot to say other than, which is darn, I don't have a lot to say because, you guys know I can go on forever. But
All right, we'll see you guys later then.
Yeah, but the great, again, everybody here on this panel told you a whole different, what their whys are, and a lot of what their financial freedom results are what they're looking to get. Something kind of cool happened to me last night, and it was a person reached out to me on Facebook, friended me. I didn't have no idea who this person was, and so I, being that you're in a business, you're going to pretty much accept everybody's friendship when they request it because you don't know if they're a lead or not. But this person actually, based on a video I did, he went out and he purchased a Twitter program that now he's using, and he said he's just the greatest thing he's ever tried, blah, blah, blah. So I actually helped somebody get a sale, and he thanked me for it. So I thought that was kind of cool. That actually I thought it would have may have been Sean, because I looked at the friends there and it said Sean and somebody else. So I'm hoping that was the case. I was able to help somebody. But that's the kind of the cool thing. Guys, we're all here to help everybody. And it's, we're switch over to a little bit of the community. There isn't one person on this panel that if you reached out to wouldn't give you their shirt off their back, try to give you the best advice that you possibly could give you, because we've all been through it. You're going to start at ground zero like we did. So we understand that. So, guys, I just want to say, if you have a chance to get in, every one of these people on this panel is awesome. Reach out to them. If they brought you to this hangout, reach out to them and pick their brain, because they're going to let you know. They're going to tell you the way it is. It isn't going to be no sugar coating and your candy coating, however, whatever that saying is. It's going to be the cold facts. Nobody here BS's anybody. We don't get ahead by doing that. We also like to sleep at night.
Exactly.
And so we're here to help. We're here to do whatever we can. And guys, it's been a pleasure to be on this with you guys. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, definitely.
Likewise. Well, cool.
So
click
I'm
on
gonna
the link below, right? We'll end with click on the link below and get all in.
There you go.
I'm gonna just put a little spotlight right
Everyone,
now.
click on the link below.
This is D Lake. I'm putting a little spotlight in each one of you. D Lake in the house. We got Perry Trumbull there, Sean DiCapo, myself, and Vince Mazzi. So it's been real, guys. I guess we're going to be seeing everyone every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right?
Yeah, and there's no excuse for you guys not to join us, because The Walking Dead's not till 10 o'clock, 9 or 10 o'clock. So you guys have to do something before that, so come watch us.
That's right. We keep it short and sweet.
If you get inspired by any one of us, if you feel connected to any one of us, just feel free to jump in with any one of us, and we'll share our golden nuggets, and we'll give you all the resources that you need to make it happen in the A to Z plan, and just jump in and start going for it.
And we will see them all in Chicago.
There you go. Can't wait for that.
Right.
April
right.
19th.
That is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Book my tickets today. $248 round trip from Austin to Chicago.
Wow.
I was 148 round trip, but I'm like, hell yeah, I'll take that.
How much was yours?
Like 148 round trip, because I'm just going to. I know.
I've got you all beat. Mine was 0.
Get out of town.
Yeah, I use my frequent flyer miles.
Wow.
Well, that's because we travel so much.
David,
We travel at least every 3 months. So that's the cool thing that everyone needs to know. We travel every 3 months, and we meet up, and we just see everywhere in the the
Heck yeah.
United
Yes,
States.
that's so awesome.
Well, I think you're getting
David
close.
and Vince, you guys.
What's
sorry.
that?
Oh, sorry. David and Vince, do you guys want to give out your email address or your Facebook name so you found and contacted if people want to connect with you?
Sure. If you want to connect me in Facebook, just to reach out to VMazy1, or you can just do a search on Vince Mazy, and I'm all over the place. So Facebook VMazy1, and reach out to me, friend me. We'll get to know each other.
And if you want to connect with me on Facebook, facebook.com/David Cohen 36.
There we go.
Awesome.
See y'all next week.
Great to see
All right,
everyone.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care, guys. See ya.
See ya.
Yeah.